Salts.
Yeah, I think some of my favorites was Oombulgurri.
Tell how you got recruited for Oombulgurri.
It was like on a Thursday night, or phone rings about 8:30 in the evening, and it's George Holcomb. And we talk, you're on, no, different story. And we talk about pipe and pipe tobacco. We both pipe smokers, what blends tobacco and whatnot. Small talk. And he said, as long as I got you on the phone, would you be willing to go to Australia with us for the consult? This was 8:30 at night. And I said, yes. What I need to bring? He said, well, here's Duffy. You talk to him. Duffy told me the first thing to bring is my snake boots. Because they have these tiger snakes, which are, see, they're proper deadly. The king browns were deadly. They said a tiger snake could bite you. Just sit down in about 20 minutes and enjoy your death. That was their pitch to get me to go to Australia. And the next morning I got up and went to work.
When did you ask him when you were going?
Oh, I said, when we going? He said, tomorrow morning. And I said, well, I don't have a visa. He said, we'll take care of that. We'll send somebody out tonight, get your passport. And they're going to fly out to San Francisco and get your visa. And you're going to catch an 11 o'clock plane. And you go out there. And if we get the visa, you'll go with us. If not, you can go back to Chicago. So I went down and I walked into my boss. I said, I'm going to take some vacation. He said, when are you going? I said, today. He said, where are you going? I said, well, I'm going to Australia. They thought I was half nuts anyhow down there because they never knew where I was. Going to Australia, he said, boy, Priscilla will like that. And I said, well, Priscilla's not going. This is all good. So I forget who it was, some new intern was sent out there in a car out to Lake Forest to get my passport so they could take it to San Francisco and get my visa at the Australian consulate. So they did, they got it. I went to work and told them goodbye at work, and I'll be back in a month. And we took off with them, and we flew out to San Francisco, and I forget who it was that had them. So I said, am I going? They said, oh yeah, you're going. So okay, we didn't check my bag then. That's the way we went to Australia. And then we had a baby with us. One of the order's babies had been left behind while in the world. And we carried that little baby all the way to Australia. We took turns holding it on the plane. Who's it? They ended up in the Houston house. Duffy was the main godfather for the baby. Who's a young couple that was
Hampton's baby?
Who's?
No.
Stuart and Mary Hampton?
No.
No.
Was it one of the Philbrook?
Was it Wagner? Does that sound right? Was it Wagner?
Oh, Sue.
Tim and Sue Wagner's daughter?
Yeah,
Could
be
have
the
been.
right age.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Tim and Sue Wagner. Well, anyhow, I was a baby. Mother had been over with us. We did some not conventional things. Golly. But no, so we went to that, and then we met.
What was the best part while you were in Oombulgurri?
Oh, those Australia. I bought a clandestine bottle of gin when we sat down in Fuji at the airport. Not unbeknownst to me, so did Matthews. So did, well, everybody. Everybody carried. You're supposed to carry it on the Aboriginal land. You're not supposed to have any alcohol. So, anyhow, these Aussie guardians, these Australian guardians, there was a doctor, a water expert, a boat builder. I don't remember all the others. But, let's see, what was I? Oh, we were talking about. What were we talking about?
Well, I asked what was
The
the
gin.
most memorable
Yeah,
thing.
but I had a good story, a profound, and I
You're
forgot.
talking about buying gin.
Oh, gin, yes. You're right. Oh, yeah.
Very profound.
Yeah. Two things, we got there and they had these 55-gallon drums. They cut out a hole and set them about halfway down into the ground and put a toilet seat on, just laid it on top of there. That was the facilities there, out there where we stayed by our tent. And somebody told Crocker, be sure to use this stick to lift that lid up before you sit down on there, because those snakes get up there and curl around those seats. Crocker said, well, I'm going to be constipated because I'm not going for a week. And he made it. But then we used to go in the tent at night, and these Aussies, they come in and we'd all get these little plastic cups and have a little bit of the gin, and we'd fantasize that it had ice in it, and it had a holly, but it was straight gin, and we tell these stories. They told me this story about the guy who got bit by the tiger snake. He had about 20 minutes, but the men of the village grabbed onto each arm and ran him up and down the village for, well, I forget how long they said they ran him to get this poison to go through. I'm taking all this in. I thought they were really serious on this stuff. And they ran him so that the poison would flow through his body, and after 92 hours, he died. And, oh no, I asked him, after 92 hours they quit, and I said, well, what happened to him? He said, well, he died. I said, the poison really got him, huh? And they said, oh, no, it was exhaustion. And I never believed him again. But I'll tell you, we slept there on that tent, and when the tiger snake came out of our tent, we didn't know where it was in our suitcase or what. I remember the snakes really stand out in my mind. And then a dingo dog. We were out there over under a canopy, and we were sitting at a table, and a piece of paper blew off the table, and I reached down, there was a dingo dog sleeping under the table, and he grabbed on it and bit me on the hand. And Dr., gosh, what was his name? Came over, and I hadn't had my tetanus
Banks?
shot. No, it wasn't Banks, no. This was Tom.
Anyway.
Huh?
Anyway, go on.
Tom, yeah.
Oh, from Oklahoma, Whitsett.
No, this wasn't this was an Australian guardian doctor, and he had a little kit, and he opened it up and he gave me a shot. Of all places not to have one. Of course, I didn't have a lot of time to get one when I was recruited for this job. So. And I stayed my limit and came home.